Hey everyone, how's it going? Joe back here bringing you a review of every team's most recent playoff game because I missed a couple days. I'm gonna get where it's a little bit brighter. That didn't work. Whatever, we're just staying here. Oh, actually, I don't like. We're going here because you got when we used to be good back there. Because yep, that's who we're starting with. We were starting with the Bruins. Um, Let's just start with the opening goal, obviously from Evan Rodriguez, batted in. That's the kind of goal that the league's trying to get out with that above the crossbar rule, but it was below the crossbar, perfectly fine goal. I just don't think Swayman saw that coming. It's all right. I don't expect any goalie to get those if they're not expecting it. The Florida pressure there was crazy. He made a couple decent saves before that, so yeah. The shots for the Bruins remain to be an issue, a huge issue. Zone time has been better. We just can't get pucks to net, whether they're just missing, blocking, or passing too much. We just can't get those shots on the net. Um, McAvoy makes an issue or makes a mistake again. Barkov feeds Rodriguez again for a 2-on-1. Swayman is great on that. However, we take a double minor a few minutes later, and the Bruins PK is absolutely just falling apart, like terrible. They score twice on the double minor. One of them, Tarasenko high corner shot with a clean lane. No one was there to block it or even attempt to. And then Verhage got it from Kachuk to tip it in at the very front of the net. Terrible, absolutely terrible. The Bruins. I mean, we knew if you were a sane individual, you knew that the Panthers were just on another level. But it just really feels like no effort from the Bruins, any of them at this point. Um, and then, what was I gonna say? One of the biggest, and like I said, we just sucked, right? We played horribly. We were the worst team. We should have lost this game. But one of the worst, if not the worst call I've ever seen against the Bruins. They call Lauko for goaltender interference, even though he was shoved into the goaltender. I forget who shoved him, but I remember I was at an event. We were all cheering because we knew we were getting a power play. And then Loco went to the box for goaltender interference, and I couldn't believe it. And they scored on that power play as well. So 3 power play goals for Florida after we didn't give up like damn near any in the Toronto series. They were like 1 for like 21. So this is kind of what I wanted to see happen in terms of Toronto's power play and how this looks terrible instead of our PK looking really good. But yeah. And then Sam Bennett comes back. Obviously, we got Andrew Peak back as well. We didn't see much from Peak. Bennett, you know what we saw? We saw him injure Marchand, get no call for it. Again, the officiating is just unacceptable. Marchand will be missing time. He's not dressing for game 4. It's just awful, man. And like I said, in the Toronto series, they screwed Toronto just much as they screwed Boston. It's unacceptable. It makes NBA officiating look sane. It really does. It's out of line this year, and mostly in the East as well. I haven't really seen any calls in the West, and um, I guess it's been fine in the Rangers series as well, but I don't. Maybe it's just because it's my Bruins. I recognize it a lot more. Um, and then the third period begins. We're down 3-1. I'm sorry, 3-0. Our 4-0. Our star play or our captain is missing from the bench because he was injured by St. Bennett. Our bottom line's out there. Florida takes a penalty. We score on the 6-on-5. Our bottom line was out there. Lauko assisted by Beecher and DeBrusque. Lauko in the slot. So good to see him back on the ice scoring. Obviously Lauko has been a scratch because he was kind of invisible out there, not doing much, just kind of another body. We can get these bottom guys to score, then we're in a much better situation. Low Rye, another newbie. He comes up the slot, finds DeBrusque, great pass, great goal from DeBrusque, 4-2. Like I said, any point where Low Rye is playing well, or Brazeau or Beecher, is a positive for the Bruins this series because I don't think we're winning it, but getting those guys playoff experience is what we're here for. So I'm very, very happy they were able to come up big here. Um, Unfortunately, that's all the Bruins would score. We had a crazy, crazy power play that we could have got it to 4-3 even. Pasternak had a chance while Bobrovsky was lying down. I think he fucking missed. Um, then Geeky gets a pass to Brazeau. Brazeau gets the shot off. It goes off of Bob's shoulder. Almost did. It was like if it had gone a little higher, it just skated his shoulder. Um, and then Frick, who got the empty netters? I think a check on one of them. Kachuk, I mean. I totally messed up the pronunciation there. Rodriguez got one. I didn't even know that. Oh, and Reinhardt, yeah, of course. But clean win again for the Panthers. This time it was in our building. Like I said, we don't care about home ice. We perform better on the road, in all honesty, if anything. But I think it's pretty even split. Um, to Chuck and Ekblad. Ekblad's had a much better series since that game one fall apart. 5 shots for them. Every defenseman with a block. Ekblad, again, he had 4. Bennett had 7 hits, one of them injuring Brad Marchand with no call. Um, and Barkov with 6. The Bruins' leading shooter, again, had 3 shots, being Pasternak this time, who, luckily for us, can hit the broadside of a barn, unlike Brandon Carlo, but we're going to need to see more. The defense had a total of 2 shots, which it's just it's very invigoratingly frustrating that we do this night in, night out. I don't care that we're getting outshot by our opposition. All right, I care about how we're getting outshot by our opposition. The first period, we just don't do anything. And then we manage to sprinkle in some shots when we realize we're going to lose the fucking game. That's just unacceptable. Um, Coyle, DeBrusque, and McAvoy all had 6 hits. I'm glad that we got going after the Marchand injury, so hopefully tonight without him we'll be just as mad. I don't see it though, because they've given us no sign to believe that, playing with that tenacity, that anger. I don't believe they're going to do so. They can say it all they want, like they keep doing it at the press conferences, a little more convincingly each time. I'll see it when I believe it, because words are only words. This was a bad game for Swayman. I still think we start him for game 4 because Olmark looked bad in his stint in game 2. However, yeah, Swayman's insanity runs over. It's a sad time. It's a sad time to be a Bruins fan. If you had more expectations from this team, I didn't. I thought we were getting eliminated this round for sure, but yeah, very sad. Let's move on to the Canucks and the Oilers. Easy, finally, Pettersson on the board. Unfortunately for him, I'm giving a lot of the credit for this to JT Miller with a great pass on the power play across the slot for him. Pettersson had an empty net, but I'll tell you what, he would have missed those earlier in the playoffs. So good job, Pettersson. Thank God you're on the board. Hopefully that gets you up to speed and invigorates you to play better now. Then the Oilers power play. God, this thing is just unbelievable. They end up scoring, but it takes them like a minute and a half, which credit where credit is due. The Canucks are trying to get it out. They are blocking shots. Seelovs is going off, but then Draisaitl, out of all people, ends up getting in the back of the net. So obviously, it's dangerous. It really is dangerous if it gets going. And the Oilers power play has shown no signs of not constantly being going. So there you go. I'll tell you what though, the shots that the Canucks are getting in these games are clean. They're allowing mile to break. They're allowing short, or not. Oh, what is it? Odd man rushes. So the Oilers defense could be a lot better. But where have I seen that before? Other than every single time I watch an Oilers game. Then Hyman, the backboard master, Ekholm gets a shot on. Sheila dives to try to save it from Hyman. Hyman actually hits the side of the net, so he doesn't even get it on net. That would have been a great save from Seelovs if he had gotten the net, but obviously didn't. And then some 4-on-4 hockey for a mere second before Sushi shoots it from the blue line, redeflected in by Brock Besser. 2-1, right? Yeah, 2-1 Canucks. So we got Pettersson and Besser on the board for the Nucks. That's obviously great to see for them. Then on the same 4-on-4, oh man, this was crazy. I forget who was passing. I forget who has the assist on this. But both McDavid and Ekholm were in the slot. Ekholm was settled. McDavid was moving. The pass, I think it might have been intended for McDavid. It goes between his legs, and Seelovs is so set on it being McDavid with the puck. Ekholm is sitting there with the puck, and it just goes right in. So, great distraction scenario. I'm not sure if that was the intention, but great distraction scenario from Connor McDavid. And this is the kind of thing he can do, right? If he has line mates who can score, like Draisaitl, like Hyman, or even some depth scoring. If you want to put Hyman and Draisaitl on their own line, just bolster all the lines, get McDavid on another one with some secondary scorers, you can do this. And it works very well, because you're scared of McDavid shooting that puck, right? You're not necessarily scared of Ekholm. So the first you see McDavid near a puck, and you're looking at McDavid, right? Not that Ekholm or any NHL player isn't terrifying with a puck, but I mean McDavid's just on another level. Um, then Nikita Zadorov proving me wrong again when I was starting the I was starting the playoffs saying, God damn, Beauvillier should have stayed in Vancouver. Nope. Zadorov from behind the net, off of Skinner's back. Skinner, you can't allow. You know how I feel about Skinner, very hit or miss on any given night. He needs to be hit most of these nights in order to help the Oilers win. Then Oilers power play, they're able to kill it off, but barely. McDavid gets a post ringer, and then he ends up tying it, actually, even strength on a breakaway. Myers lost his balance, collecting a puck from Soucy. It was just bad from the bottom pair of the Canucks defense. I think they're the bottom pair. Is Ian Cole actually? I don't know. We'll see. But then, so we got a tie game here. The Oilers are making this 5-on-5 look like a power play for them. It's crazy how they can do that. All the McDavid line, obviously. It's just insane that this group of forwards that they have there, and it's gonna be hard to top them for any team, let alone the old inexperienced Nuckies. But then regulation ends, and Ian Cole gets the overtime winner on his own net. Ian Cole, perfect deflection in. Bouchard was the one who shot it in there. Just a bad play for Ian Cole. Like, I haven't seen a play this bad in quite a bit. Let's look at shots. I forgot to write these down. Yeah, we got 5 for McDavid, 4 for Hyman and Draisaitl, 5 for Bouchard, 5 for Bouchard. Yeah, no, he's turning it up a notch in terms of his offense this year, or this postseason, I should say. Evander Kane has 5 hits. Garland, 5 shots. That's really it for big shooters like Nux. Um, Dakota Joshua with 7 hits. Sheesh. And then Lindholm with 4. And Lafferty with 6. He's been quiet, huh? Well, now that I say that, hopefully he scores. But, yep, that is that. The series is it tied at 1? Was that game 2 or 3? I think that was 2. Yeah, that was game 2. So tonight they are in Edmonton, and we will see if Edmonton can maintain home ice or if Canucks steal it back. But Canucks says, and it's the thing they need to do that everyone needs to figure out how to do. They need to shut down McDavid. All right, so like I said, he is in such a passing mentality now. It is kind of hindering him. However, he's on a breakaway and he scores. That should just tell you everything you need to know, and he needs to know about himself. And his line is just moving that puck like crazy. And like I said, the Oilers were far and wide the better team here, on and off the score sheet. They should have won this game by a lot more. A lot of good work blocking shots and playing goalie. Mr. Seelov. Seelov had a better night than Skinner. Easily better night than Skinner. Don't forget the Nucks also, like the Bruins, have trouble putting pucks on net. So yeah. All right, let's go to the Rangers and Canes game. A must-win game for the Canes that they won. Kuznetsov opens the scoring by beating Shesterkin. This is not something we normally see. He beat Shesterkin clean. There was no redeflection. It was all Kuznetsov. Great shot from him going up or right on him, I'm pretty sure. And Shesterkin just wasn't able to grab it. And then almost right after that, Teravainen, spin shot, saved by Shesterkin, and the rebound. Nason, great instincts to run in there, pocket that one. It was just a lying puck, and Nason was the first to it and just shoots it off the rip. And he gets it in. Very, very intelligent play. Rangers after this are going off. Anderson was like spinning and making these saves. Like I swear he was spinning in the crease. It was pretty funny. But then the Canes take it up, and Kakko is able to feed Will Cooley on a breakaway, and Cooley scores. Quick 2-1. This is like first 6 minutes of the game. Like we ain't even at a commercial break yet. And then Aho scores. And guess who's on that assist? No one but Jake Gensel. I mean, I think at this point, Gensel would be a fool not to resign in Carolina. I know he's a UFA. I know he could potentially be seen as a rental. But the chemistry he has with Aho because of his similarities with Crosby, you're not gonna find a player that's this similar to Crosby pretty much anywhere in the NHL, right? And that's what Gensel has been striving off of. That's why this line works so well. That's why this pair works so well. Gensel just knows Aho is gonna be there because he knows Crosby would be there. So Gensel, this is your sign to resign. Your sign to resign. Um, Then Rangers offense again gets going. Lafreniere and Kreider have some good chances. It's a great save from Anderson on Kreider. Lafreniere, millionth post he's hit this postseason. Must hate that motherfucker with how many times he's hitting shots with him, quite literally. Um, and then Shesterkin gets a crazy pass all the way up to Kako. Like Kako's like running into the Kane zone and passes straight from Shesterkin. Um, I forget who Kako passes it to. One of the other bottom liners there. Gets a good shot, and guess what? This one goes off the post. A Ryan Lindgren shot goes off the post. So for Anderson's getting beaten here, there, and everywhere, but they're all going off the post until Brandon Schneider gets a goal right from the blue line. Recognized how many bodies there were in front of Anderson and that he could not see. Um, and then Gensel and I forget who else, maybe Aho. No, it wasn't. It was like Shea or someone. Break out on a 2-on-1. Gensel, this was a poor attempt from you. I think you could have done a lot better on that 2-on-1, especially in a must-win game. You're only up by a goal. And now you're up by no goals because Lafreniere goes in. He gets behind Anderson and scores on his back. He's like in the corner, right? Like he's behind the net. He's behind the red line. Gets it off his back. This whole series, I can confirm. Like, let's talk about Lafreniere for a quick second. He's not a bust. After these playoffs, we can confirm Lafreniere is not a bust. He is playing his ass off. He's playing very, very well. Are there a couple players from his draft that are playing better than him? I'm not sure of everyone in his draft class, 2019, right? I'm not sure how everyone there is playing. I think second was Quentin Byfield, Lafreniere's better. Um, but especially if they go on some kind of crazy run this year and Lafreniere keeps doing what he's doing to assist in it. Guy can't be a bust, cannot be seen as a bust. Great, great work from Lafreniere to develop this year. Um, and then finally, with 3 minutes left in the game, Kane's power play finds the back of the net. Brady Shea, quick shot. Shesterkin isn't able to get over. They avoided OT, which obviously we all know the Rangers would have won. Just because the Canes don't know how to play in overtime. It's inevitable at this point. They were over 3 this year. I'm pretty sure they were over 2 against Florida. Obviously, if there were overtimes against Florida, they lost them because they got swept by them. But yeah, no, the Canes are not a good playoff hockey. Playoff overtime hockey team. I almost freaked that up because they are a great playoff hockey team. But anyways, Brodzinski was the only forward without a shot for the Rangers. Miller and Trocheck had 4 hits each. Schneider had 4 blocks. Jake Gensel had 6 blocks. Stahl, Aho, and Jarvis all had 4 hits. The shots were pretty evenly divided among the Canes, so I didn't really write them down. But, yep, obviously necessary win here from the Canes. However, they're going to have to get out of the Garden alive now in a Game 5 tomorrow. If they win Game 5, this could be a very interesting series. However, it was 3-0, and only a few teams have ever done that. This Canes team is a great team. Unfortunately, their competition is great as well, but they do have a little bit of a curse on them, if you know what I'm saying. So we will see, but yet the ball's still in the Rangers' court. Ball is still in the Rangers' court. We can't forget that. Obviously, the Canes got the win, but they are still down 3-1 in the series. So just sucks, especially after a great win like that to be like, yeah, now we're down 3-1. But yep, reality kind of sucks sometimes. However, it does not in this situation because the Stars take it, and guess who's scoring? We'll get there. Duchesne and Sagan to begin this game were crazy with the pressure. Great. Georgiev had some early crucial stops. Devin Taves throughout this game played a much more Makar-esque game than Cale Makar did. He was getting in on the offensive end a lot. In just providing that offensive push for the Avalanche that made you feel like they had 4 offensemen out there, like Makar does. So good job for Taves, and that's over the whole course of the game, by the way. Then they get the power play. Dallas PK very, very improved. But still some great shots for the Avs. But those chances are going to happen. You know, we were playing the damn Colorado Avalanche. They're going to get some chances. But Dallas was able to clear the zone a lot more. They had a couple not breakaways, but automated rushes they were able to work with. So Dallas, who struggled on the PK early in the series, had a very improved game. And then the Logan Stankoven line, jeez, they were working to keep this puck in, huh? So this is off after the power play. I should probably add. Um, and then a Hiskinen and who was it, Harley, I think, were out there for the deep. They were able to keep that thing in. Stankoven was running back and forth, fighting for it. Gets back to the slot and scores. Cannot be mad at Colorado. There were so many people in the slot there. The pass from Hiskinen was excellent, finding Stankoven, getting it right on his stick, and Stankoven gets it in the back of the net. You cannot be mad at anybody. 1-0 to go into the second, and then Georgiev, strong to start that period. Dallas was shooting, firing from everywhere, and then they got a power play and did even better on the damn power play. The Avs were unable to clear. Duhaime gets out of the box, has a practically breakaway on Ottinger, and Ottinger is able to save it. Just lunacy from both ends of the ice. Lunacy. Um, and then finally, McKinnon gets in, does the dirty work. He does like a spin move, backhander between the pads of Ottinger, gets it there, settles on the blue paint. First person to it, however, is Mikko Rantanen. Rantanen gets the goal. Obviously, credit for being there, and because, skill player to know to go to that area. But this one was all McKinnon, baby. Great, great play by McKinnon. And then, oh, I see. Sometime after that, maybe a few minutes later, Dodonov, someone else, and Sagan move in 3-on-2 for the Stars. Dodonov's pass to Sagan here is just textbook. It is just textbook. Dodonov showing up when it means the absolute most is just the most frustrating thing for people, I am sure, because Dodonov, when the hell else does he do this other than the playoffs? Great pass. Sagan, boop, he's got two. He's got two. This guy who's getting robbed all playoffs has two. Up there with the leading scorers for Dallas. Well, actually, wait, we gotta wait for that. Wait, we'll get back to that. But anyways, 2-1 for Dallas. And the third starts, and Dallas is bottom line, man. Sam Steele, Craig Smith, who obviously we all love. Me, Bruins fan. They're going to work on the Avs. The Avs get some chances, but in the end, they got to pull the goalie. And for whatever reason, when snipers, I guess, have always been great in Dallas, so maybe that's why they're so good from getting empty netters from their own end. And of course, it's Sagan again. Now he's basically tied for like second or third in goals on his team. I think he's tied with Robertson, who obviously has had a pretty decent playoff so far. Definitely behind Wyatt Johnston, I'll tell you that. And then what was I going to say? Yeah, they can just get it from anywhere. And then they pull the goalie again, obviously a 2-goal deficit now. And Robertson finds Stankoven, and Stankoven gets his second goal of the night. I should mention that first goal for Stankoven was his first of his playoff career, and same can be said for Will Cooley of the New York Rangers. So congratulations to those two for scoring their first playoff goal. I hope you kept them pucks. But yeah, 4-1 Stars win. They got home ice, right? They gotta have home ice at this point. Who started with it? Oh, they started with it. And they're up 2. Yeah, okay, so they stole it back. They stole it back from Avalanche. Of course. Because Avalanche won game 1. So 2 in a row for Dallas. We've seen them win 3 in a row. So let's see if they can do it again. They will have the disadvantage, I'm pretty sure, of being on the road for game 4. I can't keep track of this shit. I really can't. I should be able to, though. Oh, wow. I did not do stats for Colorado. I did for Dallas, though. So we got Sagan with 5 shots. I think Stankoven also had 3, and 2 of them went in, obviously. 2 of Sagan's 5 went in. Marchman had 5. Shit. That was on accident, I swear. I swear. I know it seems like it isn't, but... Marchman, 5 hits. Tanev, 5 blocks and 4 hits. Let me take a quick look at the Avs. That's my mistake. I should have done this. Highest shooter. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, Taves and Makar both had 5 shots on goal. They are tied for the highest shooter. Next highest is Rantanen with 4. Obviously, his is the only one that went in. Taves did pick up an assist on that Rantanen goal. Obviously, McKinnon as well, but just to bolster down the fact that obviously it was a far and wide secondary assist, but still good lead for Taves. Ross Colton, 5 hits. Um, a lot of the forwards were out hitting the shit out of the defense. Yeah. Sam Girard, 4 blocks. Manson, 3 blocks. But yeah. So this is where we wanted the series, right? I don't think any of us saw the Stars getting out to a 3-0 lead. So a 2-1 lead is more than acceptable for me because I want the Stars to win the series. I wouldn't mind them winning the cup either. So yeah, this is a good position to be in if you like the Stars. It's a bad position to be in if you like the Bruins, obviously. Or the Canes, but yeah. I So yeah, how many of my series are going right so far? Just the West, because the Stars, and obviously it's tied in the Edmonton Vancouver series because or I don't even know who I want to win that, so it's perfectly fine that they're tied. Probably I think I want the Canucks to win the cup more, but I feel like I feel like Vancouver can't beat the winner of the Avalanche Stars, so I'll give it to Edmonton, I guess, as long as Skinner starts getting his act together. But other than that, yeah. Thank you all for watching. We got the Bruins on tonight, and then the Oilers Canucks. So I will see you